Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. Look out, ChatGPT. Google is ready to give you a run for your money. That's right, the tech giant has released its own AI chatbot called Bard. But rather than a big, showy worldwide release, for now, Bard is only being rolled out in the US and UK. Bard's limited release comes after it was tested internally by 80,000 Google staff. Bard is built on Google's language model LaMDA. Its interface looks very similar to Bing's AI, which runs on GPT-4, but it's interesting to note that Google wants users to know Bard is still very much a work in progress, with reminders on the website saying Bard is an experiment, may not always get it right, but will get better with your feedback. Google is a bit late to the AI chatbot party, having only released its platform after ChatGPT and Bing.
Google is actually playing a little bit of catch-up because ChatGPT has been around since last November, and it was recently integrated into Bing Search and other Microsoft applications. And I can tell you from personal experience that ChatGPT is awesome. Now, Google actually describes Bard as an early experiment, but in my opinion, they really need to speed things up because losing this AI race could be the biggest threat to Google in decades.
Let me show you how to use Google Bard. So click here. It's gonna take you to bard.google.com, and here's where I'm gonna enter my prompt. I'm gonna ask how to cook fish crackers, hit go, and then it's gonna take a few seconds, maybe 2-3 seconds to think, and then here you go. This is pretty nice. Ingredients, instructions, so cool. This is very similar to ChatGPT.
Okay, so similar to interface to ChatGPT, but how does Bard actually compare to its rivals? Well, in early tests among users in the US and UK, some noted that Bard's writing skills weren't exactly, well, Bard-like. Wharton professor Ethan Mollick said Bard lags behind ChatGPT and Bing and was unable to create a sestina poem, and whatever it did make was super boring. This tweet by UX designer Juan shows that the information Bard gives may not actually be accurate, with the bot falsely claiming it already been shut down by Google. I really hope it's not foreshadowing. And researcher Andrew Keen Gao asked ChatGPT to roast Bard. ChatGPT made fun of its rival's name and said it hadn't seen something put people to sleep this fast since counting sheep went out of style. Although, to be honest, Bard has been doing anything but put tech geeks online to sleep, with many still testing the AI tool out.
I'm gonna ask it to write me a YouTube script for my next YouTube video, and he only took a few seconds, and he actually spits out the whole thing all at once. It doesn't kind of type it out like ChatGPT. So this is the full script that it just gave me for my YouTube video, and he broke it down into different sections. So I got an intro, steps, outro, and some extra tips. Let's go to ChatGPT. Let's ask it the same thing here, and I'll press enter. And ChatGPT actually types things out a little bit different. It had 0 pause time though. Bard took a second to think about it, maybe 3 seconds actually, and then it spit out everything all at once. Now in this case, for a YouTube script, I think ChatGPT gave me a better output because I could just actually read this. This one has, for example, Bard has tips at the end. That wouldn't really help me with a YouTube script. I'm not gonna read off tips, right? Maybe I could use it in the description, but not so much in a scripted format. So I think the way ChatGPT actually wrote it is more useful.
So how do they stack up to each other? Google makes it very apparent that Bard is an experiment, with a reminder at the bottom that this information may be inaccurate and does not represent Google's views. And Bing/ChatGPT has been in testing for a while, so this model seems more refined. But also, Google's no slouch either. Google's being very careful with the release of Bard, so only putting out as much information as needed so that users can test it is probably the best strategy for it.
And there's another AI release kicking up a fuss in the tech world. Midjourney version 5 is out, hot on the heels to an upgrade to OpenAI's language model from GPT-3 to GPT-4. Midjourney is an AI image generator based on text prompts. Nick paints the picture.
It's the latest marvel to emerge from the realm of artificial intelligence. Midjourney version 5 is finally here. This cutting-edge model has been designed to generate images from natural language inputs, like these. The best part? Compared to its predecessors, this version is much more realistic and can produce images with incredible details that are far more accurate.
Issues with AI hands is increasingly a thing of the past. I just typed hands playing guitar. Looks pretty good to me.
It can also handle text better than version 4.
Can version 5 generate text? Kind of. Look at these. I have love written on a scrapbook. I think number 2 is great. I think if we had variations on number 3, we would get something pretty quickly that says love. I guess we can try that. So I think this did a pretty good job, a better job than version 4. But I gotta show you, it can't handle longer words or multiple words.
Plus, the V5 is not limited to specific artistic styles, so the creative possibilities are endless. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility. This new version requires longer prompts to achieve the desired result. Users will have to describe details explicitly for Midjourney V5 to work its magic. And they can now experiment with various new parameters like ratio, stylize, and chaos.
And what the stylize value controls is the creativity of Midjourney. The lower the number, the more Midjourney will try to stick to what you wrote. Whereas a higher stylize value, Midjourney will start to inject its own creativity, and it will stray away from your prompt. What the chaos value does is determines how much variety is in your initial generation. With chaos naturally set to 0, the 4 pictures you get are going to look pretty similar to each other because they come from the same seed. Now when you inject chaos into your prompt, the pictures still come from the same seed, but they come from different parts of the seed. And you're going to get 4 distinctly different pictures to choose from.
To give it a go, all you have to do is follow these simple steps.
To Google Midjourney and go to the website, click Join Beta to join the Discord. Then, if you're on the free plan, you're going to want to go into the newbie channel. Otherwise, on a paid plan, you can actually DM the Midjourney bot /imagine with a description of your image. Hit send, and the AI will start producing your image. Then we get our 4 final results, and we can enhance one of the images to get a larger image size.
But now on for the tricky part. Who owns this generated image? Well, according to the US Copyright Office, AI models like Midjourney cannot generate copyrightable work because they lack human creativity. Even though human creativity is at the heart of these machine learning tools, the dataset used to create this digital magic was unwillingly provided by countless artists and photographers. And that's where Glaze comes in. A nifty little tool developed by a team of researchers at the University of Chicago. It adds a second, almost invisible layer on top of a piece of art, and that confuses any machine learning platform trying to study it or use it. While it won't be able to protect countless images that have already been picked up by AI platforms like Midjourney, it does give artists a tool to help them fight back if their art is stolen. What's more, going forward, they'll be able to actively protect any new work they're posting online.
Okay, time to Netflix and game. I bet you didn't know that Netflix has a whole game section. It offers over 50 mobile games with a lot more to come. The streaming giant has been working hard in the past couple of years to build up its gaming portfolio, acquiring indie developers and commissioning games of its own titles like Stranger Things and The Queen's Gambit. Netflix is currently cooking up 16 in-house mobile games in addition to 70 others developed by external partners. To Netflix, this makes total sense. Games are just another entertainment medium after all. But it doesn't really look like this strategy has resonated with users. In August, Netflix announced that less than 1% of its subscribers have been playing its games. Yet, recently, Netflix VP for Games said that this is a big bet for the company. Just like what it does with films and series, it's promising to offer new gaming content each month, which includes content that's indie, award-winning, RPGs, and puzzle games. Even a cloud gaming service is in the works so that games will be available on all Netflix devices. So if Netflix knows that no one is really playing their games, why be so chill about what many see as a failure and keep investing in it? More importantly, will it work?
Well,
It seems that Netflix sees their issues as a matter of user engagement. In a letter to shareholders last year, Netflix named Epic Games among its biggest rivals for people's attention. TikTok and YouTube were also on the list. Senior analyst at D.A. Davidson, Tom Forte, told CNBC that gaming may be a method of increasing user engagement. Quote, "One of the many advantages to Netflix in pursuing the strategy is the ability to drive engagement beyond when the show first comes out on the platform." End quote. To this statement, I don't totally agree. At best, the games only serve as a proxy for advertising a Netflix series. The strategy in its current form doesn't do much to keep people using Netflix. At the moment, these Netflix games are still available on the home screen after downloading them, so users can just launch the game from their home screen without ever visiting the Netflix app again. The tie between games and the Netflix app itself seems a bit weak, but in saying that, I'm sure the strategy would probably evolve greatly with time.
Continuing with games, looks like the iconic life simulation franchise The Sims is getting some competition. There were previous attempts to dethrone the series, but nothing really hit the same spot as building pools and removing their ladders. On Monday, Paradox Interactive, a publisher primarily known for its strategy games, revealed its open-world, highly customizable Life Sim Life by You. Its main selling point is all the in-game conversations will be customizable in real languages. So dag to Simlish, I guess. Life by You will be available in early access in September. All right, on to what's trending. And the show must go on, even during earthquakes, it seems. Now, this video has gone viral. It's a local Pashto TV channel in Pakistan during Tuesday's magnitude 6.5 earthquake in Peshawar. The Mashriq TV presenter bravely continues reading his bulletin, even though the studio is clearly shaking as the quake strikes. And this next story isn't so earth-shattering, but are you single and ready to mingle with fellow conspiracy theorists? Well, look no further than Germany's latest dating site, catering exclusively to those who believe the pandemic is a hoax. It's like Tinder, but for corona truthers. So why the need for such a platform, you might ask? Well, apparently these folks feel increasingly at odds with mainstream society. And what better way to find love than with someone who shares your beliefs?
New users sign up, along with the usual questions about their height and favorite movies, they're asked to list which conspiracy theories they believe in, such as whether the coronavirus is a hoax or QAnon is legit. They're also asked to say how many doses of the coronavirus vaccine they've taken. The site's founder is a high-profile COVID truther in Germany who told me he'd launched the site because people who thought like him were simply no longer compatible with mainstream society. The pandemic had divided people into two camps who no longer understood each other, he said. While the dating site in itself may not seem like such a big deal, it's the separatist impulse underlying it that has some onlookers concerned. We've previously seen that as conspiracy theorists have come to see mainstream society as something corrupted and harmful to be associated with. They've tried to set up their own breakaway schools, blood banks, and entire separatist communities. That's fueled fears that conspiracy theorists are isolating themselves from reality and becoming even more radicalized.
And that's our show. Find us on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.